The night I stopped being their daughter. I was sitting on the bathroom floor in the dark, knees pulled to my chest, phone glowing like a small blue wound against my cheek. I remember every detail with the kind of clarity that only comes when your entire life splits in half. The radiator in my apartment was clanking out its usual angry rhythm. Outside, Seattle rain hissed against the window like it was trying to get in and see what was about to happen. And my little sister's voice, 18 years old, sharp as broken glass, slid through the speaker and cut me open. Riley, I need $25,000. For prom. Not like asking nicely. Meeting. Like my entire future depends on it. $25,000. I let the number sit in the air between us like a dead thing. She kept talking, words tumbling over each other in that breathless, entitled rush she'd perfected years ago. There's this designer in Paris who only makes 12 gowns a year, and one of them has my name on it. Literally. She'll embroider it inside the lining. And we're doing the rooftop at Canlis. Yes, the whole restaurant, then a yacht on Lake Union with a live string quartet, and a drone show that spells my name in the sky. My influencer manager says if we hit 50 million views, the brand deals will pay for college. Riley, this is an investment. An investment. I tasted blood. I had bitten the inside of my cheek so hard it split. Because that was the moment I finally saw it clearly. I had never been a sister. I had been a startup they'd been quietly funding with my life. My name is Riley Quinn. I'm 29 years old, and for the last 10 years I have been the family's private lottery ticket, the golden goose, the walking ATM with abandonment issues. And that night, on a Tuesday in April, something inside me stood up, brushed the dirt off its knees, and walked away forever. Let me take you all the way back because you need to feel how deep the roots went. I grew up in a small town east of the Cascades where the sky feels too big and the people feel too small. Our house was a 1970s ranch with mustard yellow siding and a roof that leaked in exactly 3 places every winter. We knew which pots to put where when the rain started. We called it the indoor waterfall. We laughed about it like it was charming. Dad drove long-haul trucks until his back gave out, and the company gave him a cheap watch and a pat on the back. Mom cleaned rooms at the casino and came home smelling like other people's bad decisions. My brother, Levi, was born when I was 6, colicky, always sick, always expensive. Sophia arrived 4 years later, beautiful from the first breath, already practicing her smile in the hospital mirror. I was the oldest. That meant I was the spare adult. At 12, I was making dinner 4 nights a week. At 14, I had 3 jobs. Mornings at the stables, afternoons babysitting twins who screamed if you looked at them wrong, nights scrubbing kennels at the vet clinic until my hands cracked and bled. Every dollar went into an old Folgers can hidden under the loose floorboard in my bedroom. I told myself it was for college. Really, it was for oxygen. I left home the day I turned 17 with $4,800, a full-ride scholarship, and a promise I made to the girl in the mirror. Never come back unless it's on your own terms. I kept that promise for exactly 23 days. The first call came the morning my first real paycheck hit. Mom's voice was soft, the way it always got right before the knife came out. Baby, the mortgage, we're 3 months behind. They sent a letter. Red ink. They're talking foreclosure. I sent $6,000 before I bought groceries for myself. That was the first brick in the wall they would eventually use to bury me. Then came the avalanche. Dad's hernia surgery. Levi's asthma inhalers that insurance wouldn't cover. Mom's car transmission. Sophia's cheerleading nationals in Florida. Dad's DUI lawyer. Mom's dental implants. Levi's truck he needed for his new job. Sophia's senior trip to Bali with girls who called her bestie and ghosted her the second the plane landed. Every time I said yes, the story grew roots. She's doing so well now. She can afford it. She owes us. She never would have made it without us. I graduated top of my class in structural engineering. I took a job at one of the biggest firms in Seattle. I started making money that made people's eyes go wide when I told them. I bought my first real mattress. I paid off my loans. I flew myself to Portugal and sat on a cliff in Sintra eating pastries and crying because nobody there expected me to fix anything. And still the calls came like clockwork. I opened a joint family safety net account the day I got my first bonus. Told myself it was smart, mature, loving. I was the only one who ever deposited. Every raise, every bonus, every tax refund. Every time I thought about buying something nice for myself, the phone would ring, and I would hear crying on the other end. I watched the balance climb and told myself it was fine. That love looked like sacrifice. That this was what good daughters did. By the time Sophia turned 18, I had given them $92,418. I know the exact number because I finally made the spreadsheet one night after 4 glasses of wine and a panic attack in the frozen food aisle. $92,000. Enough for a down payment on a house. Enough for a master's degree. Enough to start my own life 3 times over. Instead, it paid for their emergencies, their vacations, their mistakes, their dreams. And then came senior prom. It wasn't a dance. It was a hostile takeover. Sophia had been building toward this for years. Her Instagram was a shrine to borrowed luxury, rented Birkins, fake private jets, filters that made her look like a Bratz doll come to life. Her followers called her iconic. Brands slid into her DMs. She had a manager now. An actual manager. Prom was going to be her launch. She sent me the deck on a Thursday night. 62 slides. Color-coded. With contracts, mood boards, timelines, and a countdown clock synced to her phone. Custom gown hand-beaded in Paris. $9,000. Private stylist flying in from Manhattan. $4,000 plus first-class ticket. 6 white Rolls-Royce Phantoms with coordinated drivers in white gloves. Private takeover of the rooftop at Canlis, closed to the public. Live string quartet playing a custom arrangement of her favorite song. Drone light show spelling Sophia 2025 across the Seattle skyline. Professional film crew to document the whole thing for her YouTube launch. Total, $25,000. And at the bottom of the final slide, in glittery pink font, "Thank you, Riley, for making my dreams come true. You're the best big sis ever." I stared at it until the words blurred. Then I called her. She answered on the first ring. Music thumping in the background. "Did you see it? Isn't it perfect?" "Sophia, I'm not giving you $25,000 for a high school dance." Silence. Then the switch flipped. "You're joking." "I'm not. You make like $500,000 a year." "I make good money. I also have a life. This isn't about you. This is about me finally getting what I deserve after everything we went through growing up poor because you left and forgot about us." "I didn't forget. I sent you $92,000. That was nothing. That was guilt money. This is different." "No, Soph. It's not." Click. 7 minutes later, Mom. 20 minutes later, Dad, drunk and screaming. Then the family group chat became a public execution. "Mom, after everything we sacrificed for you." "Dad, you're an embarrassment to this family." "Sophia, guess I'll just kill myself then." "Cool. Thanks, Riley." Levi, who I hadn't even told yet. "Wow. Cold." I muted it, but I didn't leave, because part of me still believed their story. That I was selfish. That I owed them. That blood was thicker than self-respect. I stopped eating. I lost 15 pounds in 3 weeks. I sat at my desk staring at blueprints while my vision tunneled, and my hands shook so badly I couldn't hold a coffee cup. My best friend Mara found me one night curled on her bathroom floor sobbing into a towel so my roommates wouldn't hear. She listened to the entire decade-long horror story without interrupting once. When I finished, she looked me dead in the eye and said the sentence that rewired my entire nervous system. "They're not family, Riley. They're parasites wearing your childhood as a costume." I went home that night and opened the joint account. Balance, $27,319. Every single dollar earned with my sleepless nights, my migraines, my canceled vacations, my therapy copays. I stared at it until the numbers stopped making sense. Then I transferred every penny into an account that had only my name on it. I closed the joint account. I took a screenshot of the zero balance. And I waited. They noticed in 4 minutes. The messages came like a bomb blast. Mom, what did you just do? Dad, call me right now, you ungrateful. Sophia, I'm telling literally everyone what you are. Mom, we're going to lose the house because of you. Dad, you just killed your mother. Sophia, I hope you die alone. Levi, Jesus, Riley, what the fuck? I waited until the screaming reached its peak. Then, I typed one single message into the chat. I gave you $92,418 over 10 years. I have every receipt, every text, every tearful voicemail, every threat. I'm keeping what's mine. This account is closed. This relationship is closed. Do not contact me again. I left the chat, blocked every number, turned my phone off, and slept for 18 hours straight. When I woke up, the silence was so complete it felt holy. For the first time in 10 years, nobody needed anything from me. I thought the guilt would eat me alive. Instead, I felt my lungs expand like I'd been holding my breath since 2009. The fallout was slow motion beautiful. They lost the house 11 months later. Dad took a warehouse job loading trucks at 4 a.m. Mom went back to cleaning rooms, this time without me paying her credit cards. Levi moved into a studio with 3 roommates and learned that rent doesn't care about your childhood trauma. Sophia got a job at a high-end boutique downtown and discovered that commission is a harsh but honest teacher. According to Ava, Sophia's former best friend who became my quiet ally, prom night was actually perfect. Sophia wore a $450 dress she bought with her own money. She split an Escalade limo with 9 friends. She danced until her feet bled and laughed until she cried because for the first time in her life, nobody was watching for content. She told Ava weeks later, voice small and cracked open. It felt mine, like I earned it. I never knew that could feel so good. I got promoted to director. I bought a condo with floor-to-ceiling windows and a balcony big enough for herbs and string lights, and crying when I felt like it. I took myself to Iceland and watched the northern lights alone with a thermos of terrible hot chocolate and felt more held than I ever had in that leaking ranch house. I started dating Eli, an architect with quiet hands and a laugh that sounds like coming home. He asked about my family once. I told him everything. He listened without flinching, then pulled me close and whispered, "You didn't cut them off, Riley. You finally grew into your own roots." 16 months after I closed the account, I got an email. No subject. Riley, I don't know if this address still works. I don't expect you to answer. We were wrong. I see it now in ways that keep me awake at night. The way we taught you that your value was in what you
could give.
The way we punished you every time you tried to keep something for yourself. Your father still won't say the words out loud, but he knows. He sees the empty space at the table and finally understands why it's empty. Sophia works 60 hours a week now. She bought a 10-year-old Honda with cash and cried when she got the keys. She told me it was the proudest moment of her life. Levi is in trade school. He pays his own rent. He says your name sometimes when he thinks no one's listening, like he's testing how it feels to miss someone who used to save him. I'm not asking you to come home. I'm not asking for money or forgiveness or anything you're not ready to give. I just needed you to know that the story we told ourselves about the good daughter who owed us forever, it died the day you closed that account. I hope life is treating you gently. I hope someone is loving you without keeping score. If you ever want to talk, I'll be here. If you never do, I'll understand. I'm proud of the woman you became when you finally stopped letting us shrink you. Love, the kind that doesn't ask for anything back.
Mom.
I read it on my balcony at dawn. City waking up slow and gold below me. I didn't cry. I didn't write back. I just closed my laptop, made coffee in a mug that was only mine, and watched the sun come up over mountains I paid for with my own hands. Some doors, once closed, are meant to stay that way. Some apologies arrive too late to rebuild the bridge, but just in time to let you walk away without hating yourself. I poured myself a future that doesn't come with strings. I built a family out of the people who show up with coffee and quiet and zero expectations. Mara, who held my hair while I vomited guilt. Eli, who kisses the place where the hooks used to be. My boss who gave me a corner office because I earned it, not because she needed a loan. And every single morning when I wake up to silence instead of demands, overnight, I stood in the foyer with my suitcase at my feet and just breathed it in. Something was wrong. Not loud wrong. The quiet, crawling kind of wrong that makes the hair on your arms stand up. Nora, you're early. Mom's voice floated from the kitchen, too high, too fast, like a song played in the wrong key. I didn't answer right away. I was too busy dragging my fingers along the hallway wall. The paint was still tacky. In places it came away under my nails like wet skin. Who repaints an entire 5-bedroom house the week of Thanksgiving? I drifted through the rooms like I was casing the place. Every wall the same lifeless beige. Every baseboard glowing like it had been born yesterday. In the half-bath the grout was so white it hurt to look at. In the dining room, I nudged the Persian rug with my toe and felt the floorboards give just slightly, like something underneath had swollen and been forced back into shape. Mom appeared in the doorway, apron tied tight, cheeks flushed the way they get when she's nervous and trying to hide it. There you are. Come here, come here. Big surprise. On the marble island sat a manila folder thick enough to stop a bullet. Yellow sticky arrows bristled from the edges like warning flags. She slid it toward me with both hands, the way you'd offer a loaded gun. Your father and I talked it over, she said, words tumbling over each other. We're signing the house over to you tonight at dinner. Eldest daughter tradition, finally done right. The lawyer did everything already. Just need your John Hancock where the little arrows are, and we can make the big announcement. Isn't that wonderful? I counted the arrows. 43. My stomach dropped through the floor. I forced a laugh that tasted like rust. I left my reading glasses upstairs. Let me grab them, and I can read it to you. She lunged for the folder like it might sprout legs and run. But I already had it pressed to my chest, and was moving. I took